Welcome to the Heart of the Story with Gary Mativier podcast. Positive, inspiring stories of everyday people doing cool stuff. When you are ready to take a break from your world, come on over to ours and meet people following their dreams, pursuing hobbies and careers that just might inspire you. People like this.
Jonathan has what I call balls of steel and puts that car in places that it has absolutely no sense in being.
Brittany Bryan is on a whirlwind after her racing team took on Bristol.
We're just country people that race on Saturday nights. The reaction to the car didn't really surprise me. It was like a fish out of water down there, you know? I mean, they saw the car, and of course it didn't go with those street stock cars that were on the track.
She had no idea that Nick Stoop would be such a huge story in his sheet metal covered car with custom painted hood and hand painted number 74.
Nick he just drives a half-ton truck, open trailer. He didn't have a truck or trailer to even pull his car there. He borrowed my husband's truck. He has a 2006 Duramax, and he borrowed his truck and his trailer, his tools.
A team helping make his dream to drive Bristol come true, as she takes us to the heart of her story. Episode 76, Behind the Legend, Nick Stoop's support team at Bristol and beyond. His car was slower, much slower, cheaper, much cheaper, but his heart just as big, if not bigger, than most of the drivers towing their trailers to the dirt-covered NASCAR track in Bristol, Tennessee. It's been nearly 2 decades since this track was converted and opened up to racers that travel here from all around the country. The 60-year-old built his first race car back in the 80s. He says he doesn't have a nickname, although many are calling him the Legend. More will be calling him that now after a legendary showing at the Bristol Dirt Nationals. But on this day, it's Brittany Bryan who is working nearly around the clock, handling the calls and emails, as Nick has become an internet sensation overnight. And as I wait for my turn to interview him, he says he's busy right now changing out some gears. I'm fascinated by her story and the team behind his monumental moment at Bristol. She gives us an inside look at how they got here and this whole new world opening up to them right now. So tell me about, first off, your position, okay? So how'd you get involved with racing?
So my husband, actually my daddy, he's raced all my life. He started out drag racing, and he started racing, karts and then stock cars. Nope, I lied. Stock cars and then karts. And now he's back in stock cars. And so, my husband and I have been married for 13 years. And these last 3 years, he has started racing. His cousin, Jonathan Warnicki, drives the 13X602 on our team. And he's been racing since he was a kid. He has 126 feature wins, actually. And so we got in with them. Like I said, they're family. And so we got in with them, and he wanted us a car. So we bought a same class that Nick drives in, factory stock or modified streets, what we call it here. And so we've owned a car for 3 years now.
Well, so with Nick, tell me the relationship with Nick now. Is he related?
Nick and Jonathan's daddy, John, have been really good friends for a long time. And so Jonathan grew up racing with them.
Cool. So when Nick decided that he wanted to run at Bristol, what was the thought process there? What were you guys thinking?
There was no thought about it. Jonathan wanted to go. Jonathan's raced all over the country. In his 602, he raced karts, he raced sprint cars, and he wanted to go. So he put his name in. Nick kind of fiddled around with it. He was like, yeah, I'll go. And then he was going to back out last minute, and Jonathan told him, no, you're not backing out. You're going with me. So they both put their names in, and they both got drawn, and they decided to go. Nick he just drives a 1/2-ton truck, open trailer. He didn't have a truck or trailer to even pull his car there. He borrowed my husband's truck. He has a 2006 Duramax, and he borrowed his truck and his trailer, his tools, his four-wheeler, Hans device, containment seat. He borrowed a lot to be able to go, but he borrowed all that, and they loaded up and went.
And a lot of people are talking about the car. Okay, I take it Jonathan's car is a little bit nicer than Nick's car.
Well, it looks a little bit nicer, but actually no, because Jonathan has what I call balls of steel and puts that car in places that it has absolutely no sense in being. And so he's wrecked it quite a few times. It's bent everywhere. It had to go back to the frame shop last year to try to straighten it back out. I mean, it's bent everywhere. But it does look better. But Nick's car, he has been driving the same car for 14 years. He built that car in 2000.
So he was.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. You go ahead.
He built the car in 2007. I think he said he put it on the track for the first time in 2008. It had the original body on it until last season, and he finally took the old body off and put sheet metal on it. But the hood is still original. That's the hood that his daughter hand painted.
Well, the sheet metal makes it unique. That's for sure. The look of it has its own characteristic. Were you surprised at the people's reactions to his car?
The reactions to his car? No, not really. But that's what all of our cars look like. You know, our stock cars. We have 3 stock cars on our team, and that's what all of them look like. I mean, they're just, we're just country people that race on Saturday nights. The reaction to the car didn't really surprise me. It was like a fish out of water down there, I mean, they saw the car, and of course it didn't go with those street stock cars that were on the track. His car wasn't pretty, didn't have a fancy wrap job. I think people were more shocked that he had the balls to take it there, and be on the track with them. But I mean, that's Nick. That's just how he is. He said that was his dream and that's what he was going to do. So he did it. I'm really shocked at.
So he lived his dream. Yeah. Well, I think people love, I got to tell you, in this world of ours where so much is so tense right now and, so much uncertainty of things, to celebrate someone going after their dream like this with pulling together parts, borrowing what he needs to compete and going out there and just doing what he loves. I think that's really what's really striking a chord with people, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. Racing has just gotten so commercial, all of it. And nobody sees the Saturday night racers anymore. I mean, you'll have a big race and the fans, they might pack the stands one time out of a month. But, I mean, nobody sees those grassroots racers anymore. And so Nick, being at Bristol, brought a spotlight back to those Saturday night weekly racers in the racing world, I feel like.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool if something like that can now, and who knows what it's going to motivate, right? It may bring more drivers out, may bring more fans out to take part in the sport and see how much work actually goes into it behind the scenes as well.
Yes. Nick, he actually had an interview the other night, and one of the questions, I don't actually remember the question, but I remember his answer was he hoped that Bristol thought about this whenever they decided to do this again, or whatever big track promotes this race again. And he hopes that it gives everybody a chance to run. He hopes that his class is able to go down there and run, and he's able to run with people that run cars like his. We do have street stocks here. They don't race them at every track here. But those are, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 cars, where we have our $5,000 to $10,000 cars that can't compete with that. So if Nick wouldn't have carried his car, then he wouldn't have got to race. But he carried what he had, even though it wasn't the class that he usually runs with. He carried what he what he had, knowing that it was going to be a loss, but he would still be on Bristol dirt.
Yeah, he just wanted to be there. He just wanted to be part of it. And you say he was surprised then now after the race, all the publicity, all the people that want to talk to him and talking about him. How's he responding to all this attention?
Oh, he's in awe. He's in shock. I mean, he just keeps asking, why me? Why me? I've been doing this for so many years. Why me? Why now? He doesn't really understand, I don't think. Like, we tell him, how many people has commented on this stuff and how many shares it's gotten, and we show him the pictures and the videos and all of the comments, and he's just like, yeah, but he's not with us 24/7. And literally the admins of the page, of our racing page, our phone is going off constantly. Like, you can't pull up our page without notifications continuously popping up. So he doesn't really, I don't think he understands how famous he is right now and how much publicity he actually is getting.
Because people like you are doing all the work. So what's it like for you? Are you enjoying this experience on this end of it, being now the PR person and just about everything else?
Oh, definitely. I mean, of course, it's a lot of work. I actually made a post on my personal Facebook page that said agents and managers don't get paid enough. This is a 24-hour job. I've been up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning every night this week. I work a full-time job myself. So I work 8 hours a day, and then I come home. I have 2 kids, and this has kept me busy. But I don't mind it. It's for Nick. He's a good person. It couldn't have happened to anybody better. Nobody else is more deserving than Nick is. So I'm more than happy to help with whatever I can, because without us helping, he's not going to get everything that he could get.
Yeah. And similarly, I mean, we all know it's a team effort. So you've been a very strong supporter and will continue to be for him. Hey, a lot of people asking on social media about the car and about the future of the car. I have a feeling Nick's not going to give that up anytime soon, huh?
Absolutely not. He said the other night, Chris, my husband, he had asked him, he was like, so are we going to retire that car and make it a show car? And Nick said, no, I'm not going to quit racing my car. He said, we'll get that new car here. He said, and you'll race it one weekend and I'll race it one weekend. He said, because I'm going to keep racing my car. I'm still going to race my car. So we have had a couple people ask about buying the car, and he's never going to part with that car. Never going to part with it. It'll be there whenever it don't even run anymore. It'll sit in that shop.
Well, and that brings up a part of this racing too that kind of happens when this happens to some extent. Endorsements, people stepping forward, maybe giving you guys stuff or giving you the opportunity to raise some money now to not only help racing, but to be able to help with this sport that you love so much.
Yes, we have had, I don't even know all of the sponsors. We've had a ton of people reach out to us. I have a list. I have a binder that I'm keeping up with everything. And I have a list of all the sponsors that have reached out to us and donated things, anywhere from safety gear. We had a guy donate a nose piece for the old car because he said he saw the pictures and he was like, no, we can do better than this. And so he donated a nose piece for the old car. But I mean, things like that, all the way up to, of course, like Bullet Chassis and Gatton Towing and Ramsey Engines donating the big things like the car and the engine. A lot of the sponsors have reached out to Bullet Chassis and not us. We still have to get with Cody. He was going through all those last night to see who all he had. But I mean, there's tons, and we are working on getting that list together. That way we can give them the recognition.
Sure. And finally, for people that may be wanting a little piece of the action here, whether it be a T-shirt or a hat or something to remember, or that just want to support the racing team, what is the best way for them to do that?
So I'm actually waiting on an email back from our design team. They're supposed to be emailing me this afternoon. She said around 1, but they're running a little behind probably. But I'm waiting on an email from them, and we were hoping by tonight having that up on the website. All of the merchandise, we're going to do t-shirts, hats, hoodies. That's as far as we're going to go right now, just to see how all this goes, because we're new to this whole business thing. But we do have a website. I don't really want to give out that address just yet because we don't have anything on it yet. It's still in the works. But as soon as we get the design from the design team, we can post that on the website, and the website will be posted on our Extreme Racing Facebook page.
All right, Extreme Racing Facebook page is the place to go, and that'll be updated. Hey, Brittany, thank you, because this is kind of cool, because I do a lot of stories on Americana stuff, things that, don't get talked about much these days, and it's really nice and refreshing. I think you probably get a sense of that now, for people to see a simpler way of life, and people that love each other and care about each other in the sport work so hard, and that they get these little moments in the limelight where they can actually use their skills and make a difference in other people's lives and touch them in some way. You must feel some of that, even though I know you're in a whirlwind of a situation now.
Absolutely. That was another thing that was on my personal Facebook post last night. There's still good people in this world. We've had very few negative comments, just a few, but all the good definitely outweighs the bad.
That's great. Well, thank you, Brittany, for helping share this story.
Yes, you're very welcome.
Things are happening so fast for them right now. Some merchandise and lots of updates are popping up hour by hour. It's kind of fun to watch them enjoy this moment in the spotlight after all the hard work over the years. And to hear about their hopes that this helps other small teams just like them and the sport overall to grow. Check out their Extreme Racing Facebook page and see our page too, and listen to our new episode just posted on the 12-year-old boy Trey Mills, who won at Bristol, and hear from legendary Ken Schrader giving us some history behind this sport of racing. We hope you subscribe, share with a friend, help us grow. This is The Heart of the Story with Gary Metivier Podcast.